Dome Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, right? Concussion, baby. Heavyweights. Let's talk about heavyweights, right? Now, before I get into it, you have to understand one thing. Always, if you come in here new or something, it ain't but about 20 of you. But if you're coming in here, gotta know this. Bottom line is this guy here that I'm looking at, this gap tooth llama dude who keep talking. This guy was undisputed in the weight divisions, right? He feels as though we have millions of weight divisions now. And the lower weight divisions is 4 pounds apart, 6 pounds apart. We got juniors, we got supers, right? Super divisions and all of that. And then, we call these guys, they can go and win a regular belt in one of these junior or supers. And then they got 4-time champions and all these champions. And then you compare them to people of the past who had to really jump weight. Lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, right? Light, heavyweight, heavy. Nothing in between there. You see what I'm saying? And that's how that was. And then we call the people that are getting these extra little belts in between. And then if you get a junior championship or a super, and then you get the regular, then it still will call you a 4-time champion or 3-time champion or stuff like that. So with all that being said, I don't think it's too much to ask that in all of these weight divisions that we have, that every now and then we can get an undisputed champion, like one champion in the weight division. That's why I said the year 2020 at the beginning. Probably was December the 30th when I did the video. 2020 will suck in the world of boxing because there's nobody will be undisputed this year, any division. I don't see it happening. We talked about it. Now we'll talk heavyweights to give you an example why. First of all, in the heavyweight division, we didn't get Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua after Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz Jr. Boom, undisputed. If Anthony Joshua would have said right then, I don't care about IBF and WBO, I'm fighting for undisputed, the IBF and WBO would have said, okay, cool, because we ain't going to lose Anthony Joshua because of an undisputed fight, which undisputed trumps, right? It trumps everything. But we didn't get it. So now we get the fights that we don't want to have. I didn't even want to have. Now, you might not get upset yet to show you that my disappointment. Then you can chime in on when your disappointment starts, right? But my disappointment was that Wilder and Joshua didn't fight. Then Wilder's going to fight Fury on the 22nd. I'm not happy about that, right? One of the reasons is I'd rather have an undisputed fight. Other reason is Tyson Fury doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. You do not fight Otto Wallen and damn Tom Swartz, and then talk about we're building up a fight. What do you mean we're building up a fight? Then you should have fought right after the first fight. So that's irking me. Now I'm a little bit happy with it because of the other stuff we get. Matter of fact, the fight I was unhappy with is the best one. Because are we happy with Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev? Not really. And if you ask yourself, hey, who do I want Anthony Joshua to fight? And you're an Anthony Joshua fan, well, maybe you might say Kubrat Pulev. But most people wouldn't say, hey, we were hoping Anthony Joshua fights Kubrat Pulev. Right? So that's the fight we're going to get there. Right? Then we go to further what I want to talk about. Just all the stuff. By the way, before I even go there, Dillian White versus everybody that's not Luis Ortiz. He won't do it. Trying to fight Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. don't want it, which I don't believe yet. We'll see how that goes, supposedly. Then Povetkin, who lost to Michael Hunter, really, and got a decision. And somebody else, Otto Wallen, I call him. Those are the people he wants to fight. It's just, how can you want to fight them, but the guy who fights Wilder and been wanting to fight you forever, you don't mention. So we're seeing Dillian White against anybody. It's disappointing. Disappointing. And it's also disappointing people that won't say anything about it, right? So, then you have Alexander Usyk, right? Alexander Usyk and your boy Joseph Parker. Like if Anthony Joshua is going to fight Kubrat Pulev, then Alexander Usyk, WBO mandatory versus the former WBO champ Joseph Parker was the fight to make for the guy who fights the winner, who fights Anthony Joshua or gets the WBO title. If you're gonna make the WBO title, then it should have been versus those two guys. Alexander Usyk, because he's undisputed cruiserweight, he gets the red carpet treatment. I don't care what he did against Witherspoon. He gets red carpet treatment. We don't have to get into it, but I always do. He's the guy who went to everybody's backyard to beat them and became undisputed champion in cruiserweight. Now, for people who act like that's nothing, that's everything. That's more than any of your favorite fighters. Your favorite fighters probably won't even attempt to do that. Probably never go away at all. Right? For him to go everywhere, to Berlin to beat Huck, to Latvia to beat Morris Brides, to Russia to beat Gassiev, and then to stop, become undisputed, and then go over there and beat up in form and hot Tony Bellew in Manchester. Right? That is incredible, period. I will always make sure that's clear. If he gets the red carpet treatment, he should be fighting for the WBO title. No doubt about it. I'm special because the rest of these aren't boxing royalty. They don't even attempt in every weight division. And don't let me get started with those middleweights, the Canelos and the Golovkins of the world. Ridiculous. So when you have those and they on a pound for pound list around a guy like this, right? That just do stuff like this. This guy is royalty. So he's royalty. Now, Joseph Parker had the title. David Higgins and his team made a couple of bad decisions, but maybe not because Joseph Parker got paid. But he goes to England and gets jobbed. I won't say robbed, but jobbed twice. Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. Both of those fights were controversial. Dillian White doesn't even want to give him a rematch because Dillian White knows what time it is. So, Joseph Parker was about to fight Derek Chisora, which I thought he shouldn't have been doing in the first place, but then he gets bit by a spider and he doesn't have that fight. Now, here we are to stuff I don't like. We have the Alexander Usyk and Joseph Parker fight, which no one would have said anything about, hey, man, the winner of that is WBO champ again. That's it. I don't think anyone will have anything against that, right? Because remember, their fighter hasn't done much just because of Alexander Usyk, but Joseph Parker as well. They know damn well he was in that fight with Anthony Joshua. Referee couldn't speak English, and he was in the fight with Dillian White, who Dillian White got a headbutt and was able to get a knockdown, and was struggling to get to the end of the fight. Like I always say, who wanted that fight between Dillian White and Joseph Parker to end? Dillian White. So, with that being said, Joseph Parker is also worthy. Now, he didn't do much last year. He only had Alex Lepai, and he was trying to, and then this happened to him. Some say he didn't get bit by a spider. He was trying to go straight into Alexander Usyk, which wouldn't have bothered me at all. Y'all know I roll with Joe. Joseph Parker is one of my favorites. I think he's the top 5 heavyweight, period. So he should have been for that fight. Now, because we're going back to reality, now what you're hearing now is Alexander Usyk is about to fight Derek Chisora. Now, I don't know if the title will be on the line, but just because Derek Chisora's name is in it, it shouldn't be. Right? Just okay. Then you can stay warm, but we're not going to put a title on the line with Derek Chisora, and we're going to bypass Joseph Parker. Right? Shouldn't do that. I know Chisora and them is at matchroom boxing, and it's good, right? But that shouldn't be the fight. Now, as far as Alexander Usyk, if they give him some step aside money or whatever it is, so he won't, so they won't strip Anthony Joshua, who knows? But I do know that that is not the perfect fight, the fight that we want. But this is like boxing right now. Now it gets worse. Your boy Joseph Parker, I'm rolling with Joe. Joseph Parker. Now who is he gonna fight? Marius Wach. Ridiculous. Morris Wach. Now the same the Morris Wach lost 5, 6, 7 times. I'm not sure now. So it goes up. Every time you look at box records, it's probably some more. Right? In his last fight he lost to your boy Dillian White, who Dillian White shouldn't even fought him. So now Joseph Parker gonna fight him after Dillian White just beat him. Right? It's not a good look for Joseph Parker and his team. They should have got something else. But this is what it's come to. You had one good fight. I'm not gonna say great fight between Alexander Usyk and Joseph Parker, but it was a damn good fight. Can we go with damn good? A damn good heavyweight fight and significant to 2 bad fights. Alexander Usyk with Chisora I'm gonna watch that, but not a great fight. Not a great fight, right? Then you have a worse fight with Joseph Parker and Morris Wach, and it's putting Joseph Parker further away from the consciousness of the boxing fans and the heavyweight boxing fans, because Joseph Parker should be higher on the list. Now, I just think that they need to get it together. He needs to have a higher profile fight. Not saying he didn't try. He wanted Dillian White. He would have fought Chisora, right? And he would have fought Alexander Usyk. So we're not going to say, that, he don't want to fight anybody. We're not going to go there, because I see it now. I get on that when I'm especially talking to middleweights or and other people and other fighters. Hey, who has he fought? Well, we know that nobody want to fight him. They say that with Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz too. Speaking of him, Joseph Parker could have fought him, or anybody could have fought him. All these people looking for fights. Have you noticed? Doesn't matter what heavyweight you talk about. the name the name Luis Ortiz just never comes up? How do everybody just skip them and all of boxing and you fans as well just keep ignoring this guy, right? Then if I mention other guys that get ignored, it's a similarity. Andre gets ignored, Charlo gets ignored, Rigondeaux gets ignored, on a high level ignored. I'm talking about, blackball basically. You got Andre about to fight Luke Keeler. 70 to 1. Um, Luke Keeler is a 70 to 1 underdog versus Andre right now. Now, that 70 to 1, that's telling you they think somebody's real good or somebody's real bad. And I don't know if Luke Keeler is 70 to 1 against a boxer, right? He's not. He's lost twice, but 70 to Tom Duran or whatever his name was, right? Or Tim Duran. He lost twice to this guy. Guy had his number. The rest of them didn't, though, right? 70 to 1. So that's telling you somebody, dude, either Luke Keeler is atrocious or they know, he ain't going to beat up no Demetrius Andre, like I told you. So, and they get ignored. So this is how this keeps happening. Luis Ortiz is the same way. We just don't mention him, and people won't say anything about him. So, like I said about the year 2020, it's just going to be bad fights, right? These are two examples of it. There are more, a lot more that are going on that we just are not hyped about seeing. You're farther away from undisputed, right? The people are not lining themselves up by beating other people that are formidable, right? And it just keeps going. This is a perfect example of that. Two bad fights, and we had one good one. From one good fight, or a damn good fight, we get two bad ones. Alexander Usyk versus Derek Chisora, and I even think they're going to probably put that on UK pay-per-view, by the way. And then you got Joseph Parker versus Maurice Wach. I don't know, guys, but this is what boxing is coming to. I think fans need to make sure they let your voices be heard, so we can probably get some undisputed or fights of the like, because we're getting further and further away from that, and that's only because people go as far as you let them. So let's stop letting them. Doma Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm up out of here. Rest in peace,